for our discussion on living in your truth and see how you can maximize your business. Good evening, and thank you for joining us today for our discussion. So as you all know, please remember that you can join our conversation by leaving a comment in the post below, and we will tackle your questions as we move along. So today we have awesome co-hosts to join us. First and foremost, we have Boma Alamina and Christine Campbell-Rappin. Welcome to the floor, ladies. So to introduce yourselves, please will you answer the question, how is living in your truth in business helped you on your entrepreneurial journey, excuse me. Christine, if you'd be so kind as to answer the question for us.
Yeah, a big part of what I do and what I'm all about and who I attract is actually stepping into your truth. I think one of the things, when you first start your business journey, you don't yet know where the dominoes will fall. And you often are lost in the sea of sameness. But as you start building and as you start gaining clarity, suddenly it becomes a reflection in the mirror. And I think always in my life, in every major decision, including the one about deciding to go start my business, came down to when I was looking at myself in the mirror. Not for, checking my hair out or doing something fancy, but just saying, who are you? Who do you want to be? What's the next step? And get out of your damn way. And so I think living in your truth, and particularly for someone who helps business owners who are sharing their knowledge and who are looking to attract a high ticket client, it's essential that you embrace who you are. Because if you don't, you do get lost in the sea of sameness. Finding clients is enormously struggling and hard, and it doesn't need to be. Because every single day, the fascinating thing about business is somebody got out of bed today saying, I need a solution. But standing in your truth is how you bridge the gap for them seeking a solution and you being the right guide to help them find the solution. So to me, that has been a journey of dominoes, a journey of one discovery of myself, one focus about embracing not just the highlight reel, but all the messiness. That's really when I started to see my business explode. It's not just the big highlights.
Wow, that's really exciting. You make it sound like it's actually easy to be a business owner. I'm going to try and pretend and keep that exciting feeling inside. Boma, would you mind answering the question? How's living in your truth helped your business on your entrepreneurial journey?
Wow, it's really hard to follow Christine's explanation after she did so excellent in explaining her truth. Well, for me, living in your truth is you cannot be a business owner without knowing who you are and exactly why you're doing what you do. Because one of the major difficulties you're going to find and struggle with in your business is not understanding and realizing who am I and exactly how do I want to present my business. Okay, so you want to find out, I'll say your whys, like why exactly are you doing what you're doing? So that kind of directs you. When it gets to a point where you feel, oh my God, I just don't want to get up in the morning, I just want to do this, your whys are going to be what reminds you to say, oh my God, I really need to do this. For me, getting into business in the first place was similar to what Christine said. I always thought like there's got to be something more than what I'm doing. I started out in healthcare as a nurse practitioner, and then I transitioned into healthcare. And my major focus has always been that love to share, to give, and to help people. Being able to say, I'm there for you. How can I help you? How can I help you get to your next level? If it is, even if it has to do with your health and now with your finances, right? Being able to sit down, teach someone, and then they get the aha, someone is actually directing me and telling me what to do. So that love for sharing and giving has helped me to live in my truth and just, just go with my business and see my business grow. Thank you, Natalie, for that question.
Oh, that's very exciting, Boma. Your why is really what gets you off of the couch, right? And I see we have somebody sitting on the couch, one or two or three. Thank you for adding in your little comments for us. Help us see that you're there and that you're a part of our exciting conversation. And yes, what is your why? What is your purpose? What is it that gets you out of bed in the morning? I like that. Okay, so moving over to our next question. Let's get motivated. Why is it important to understand your truth in business? If you wouldn't mind answering the question, please, Christine.
I think that what is so essential to see success is this isn't optional. So why is it important? It's not optional. You've got to lean in to exactly what Boma said is your why must be so big it pulls you past convenience. And it might start superficially with saying, I was here to create impact or here to create money or here to do something, give back. But there's a million reasons to start a why and to get involved in the world of entrepreneurship. But when you get connected to your truth, it is the accelerator that moves you. And without it, it's really hard to get off the couch because motivation isn't outside. It actually comes from within. And it's okay to also recognize that those definitions of truth change. I often tell myself and I often tell my clients, the big hint here is the story you don't want to tell is the one your audience really needs to hear, because that's the truth teller. And right now, I think we are all, as human beings, kind of going back to the old values, and we want truth. We are capable of handling the truth. And when we stand in our truth, it's the place where we start to feel seen, be seen, and also go, gosh, we could create something amazing. But to me, it's not optional. It's imperative. It's everything. Your truth is the accelerator, and it is how you will make the most impact in your business.
That's very exciting. Thanks for answering the question, Christine. And I have to actually highlight that one of my favorite videos that you did was on choosing your why. It still stands up very loudly in my head. So if anybody wants to learn a little bit more on how to step into that box, that's a place to start. Your why is really there when the days are heavy and the struggle is hard and there's too much overwhelming stuff going on in your life. If you have a why that's bigger than you, there's nothing that will keep you in bed from jumping up and bouncing out there to share your message with the world, to create an impact, to do that which you want to do. Your why is what drives you. I like that. Okay, so moving over to you, Boma, if you wouldn't mind answering the question and getting us motivated. Why is it important to understand your truth in business, in your opinion?
Just like Christine said, I don't think you can really proceed or really flourish in your business without knowing your why. And just like you said, Natalie, your why needs to be big enough to pull you out of the bed, pull you out of those days that you feel super down, like maybe you're getting a really difficult day. Your why keeps you going. For someone like me, my why used to be like, I just want to make sure I can teach my kids because I'm a mom of three girls. I just want to make sure I show them that as a girl, you have no limits. You can do whatever you make your mind up to do. So I was like, I'm gonna make sure I set a good example for my kids. So initially, it used to be just my kids doing everything for my kids. But like you said, Natalie, if your why it grows, it evaluates as your business grows, your why changes. Now I'm looking at the big picture of, okay, I have to give back to society. I want to do something for society. I'm from a third world country where there is no electricity, there is no real healthcare, there is no good food and things like that. So I'm thinking, I want to be able to establish a fantastic healthcare facility that I can give back to the community, because guess what? It is a selfish reason, because you really get fulfilled, you really feel happy when you give back. So knowing your why, like, I'm doing this because it's not just about me, it's about the community I need to serve. It's about the changes I want to see happen, and I want it to start from me. It just gives you that fulfillment, that even though you're feeling fulfilled and happy, it's actually that's what keeps you going. So yes, you need to know your why. It's super important. because you're going to get those days when it really gets low. You're like, maybe you're not getting as much business as you want to. The customers are not calling. You're getting a lot of cancellations on your appointment, on your schedule. Keeping focus on your whys is what's going to keep you going. So you absolutely need that. Is the lifeline of your business. That's what I think.
Wow, Boma, that's really exciting. I love that. Creating an impact in your community and being a conscious parent. Those two things shouted out the most and the loudest to me. Thank you. Your why needs to be something that's going to make you someone people can aspire to be like and learn from, because that's what we're here for. We're here to lead. And only by being your authentic self can you lead in an appropriate way. Okay, so let's move ourselves over to staying inspired. So in order to stay inspired, Christine, can you answer the question? How does a lack of understanding your truth affect the way we provide our customer service?
I think when you sit in a place where you don't understand your truth, you sink to the level of mediocre. And instead of focusing around how do I create an exceptional experience? And that doesn't mean a perfect experience. But I think sometimes when you're struggling to own your truth, it's easy to be in the rooms that are comfortable, the rooms that are average, the rooms where you don't feel like you're kind of having the light shined on you. And yet, that's not what we're here as human beings to be all about. Human beings all have a unique place. Like there's no two of us that are identical, who have had the same journey, the same experiences. And when you lean in to your truth, you start to go, I need to be in rooms that elevate, that inspire, that lift me to see what is possible. And I think that's so important because that's how you can connect to customers. That's how you can say, how do I serve you or serve us collectively, humanity as a collective goal? It's really important because I said, if you don't own that, hold on to it, you can sink to average. And trust me, none of us are here to play average. Average is not a goal. Certainly not a goal for me. It's probably not a goal for you, or you wouldn't be hanging out with us here in this awesome space with the Mink community. It is really about playing at the highest level.
I like that. Play big or go home, right? But since we're at home, we just have to play big. So moving over to Boma, in order for us to stay inspired, can you answer, how does a lack of understanding of your truth affect the way you provide customer service, in your opinion?
So when you don't understand your truth and you don't know what your truth is, just like Natalie says, you're going to sink into the mediocre. You're going to sink into average. Like you cannot be your full potential. You cannot live to be your full God-given potential, not understanding your truth. And then when you give out these services to your customers, they can sense from you that this person is really not into what they're doing. So you actually affect your customers by not understanding and being in your truth. So it is so imperative that you understand that so you can give your full self. And not understanding it limits you, just like Christine said. It limits you because now you're thinking about yourself. You're not thinking about your customers. For you to really, live in your truth, you got to think about giving your best to your customers. Because think about the golden rule. You want to be done for you what the way someone else would do for you. So understanding that this is my truth, I can give my best. Okay, I can be at my best. I can really be functional at a high level. Okay, so that is why it's really imperative to understand your truth.
Wow, that's awesome. Such golden tips of wisdom from you, both of you. Thank you very much. And if you're sitting on the couch, please feel free to chip into the chat so that you can help us up our game and answer a couple of questions for you. So moving on, let's see what we're going to do with keeping networking. And in order to network, who should you ask for help when you're trying to improve your business? Boma, would you mind answering this one?
So with my business, what I do is financial consulting, financial services. So I would ask everyone, okay? I will look for power partners. What I call power partners will be businesses that will be affiliated with mine or that can have services that we provide in common. So I'll be looking for like real estate brokers, accountants, consultant, tax preparers. I'll be looking for pretty much my friends, my family, my loved ones, people around me. So I'll be looking for the everyday worker, okay, working 9 to 5, doing your thing. I'll be looking for someone that is trying to build a stable, secure financial future. And I'll be pretty much talking to those kinds of people. Yeah. So everyone.
Oh, that's very exciting. Thank you for sharing that. Now we already know exactly what we need to listen for when it comes to financial consultants, because after all, you never think that far. And it's probably one of the biggest issues that we really need to look at from a lot younger. Excuse me adding that little touch in so that we're all empowered to move into our futures a little bit more planned, focused, and strategic. None of us want to be left in the dark when we reach oldest age and you actually can't work anymore. So, Christine, would you mind telling me who you think we should ask for help when you want to try and improve in your business?
I think the key thing that I think has enormous value is finding an inner circle. And that is, you're right, Boma, it is about finding power partners. It is about finding people, I always say, who are your truth tellers, because this is where you can lean in and say, help me audit my first impression. Because remember, when you're networking, you're not always looking for clients as the immediate win, but your networking should lead to actions that grow your business. It should be introductions. It should be collaboration opportunities. It's an exchange of value, which may, yes, down the road lead to clients. So I actually think one of the best people to seek advice from is finding an inner circle. And the most empowering question you can ask them, and you don't have to just do this with your inner circle, but do it in a networking space that you feel safe in. Tell me what my first impression is. You've heard me talk about my business. Who do you think I serve? Who do you think I'm looking for? Because we leave so much impact on the table with our first impressions. And what my mom and dad told me when I was a kid is true. You never get a second chance to make a first impression. And so I did this example in my own business this week. I had 2 incredible opportunities to network with people whose spaces I admired. And I said to them, I'd love to know what's your first impression of my business. And so they'd been through my LinkedIn and they'd been through my website, and there were gaps. And they're like, this feels out of sync. And I was like, that's her. I'll be honest, it was a little gutting. I was like, oh God, I haven't hit it yet. But it was also hugely illuminating. And once I picked my ego up off the ground and realized this was such a gift, it's going to help me then enter into new conversations going forward. So use power partners and be brave enough to say, tell me what you think I do. Tell me who you think you should introduce me to. And one small tip in language is to, instead of saying, come find me, or my details are in the chat if you're virtually networking, spin it around to say, who do you know who I need to know? And get them to make that introduction for you, because it's connections that really accelerate the growth of your business.
Wow, that's really so powerful. When we look at our Minkubator and we look at the MinkLife community, it definitely is the place where we get a lot of information and a lot of feedback. And I love that. I had the same story. I've just joined a new spiritual business mentoring program. And the first thing the person did when they opened my website was tell me that it told them nothing. I was so excited because I've just upped my game, taken all the tips from leading until this point and implemented them, thought it was, wow, well, if it doesn't tell you anything, why have a website? So you really have to be open to feedback. And like you say, find that safe place where you don't mind the feedback that's come back, because the people that are providing that feedback are seeing it from a perspective where either they know you already or they understand brand development a bit better than you do, or how to put a brand story out there better. So surrounding yourself with the top 10 people that make you work 10 times harder than you did before you met them that's the kind of people you want to surround yourself with. So you're always playing big and being forced to step over those limitations. I love the knowledge that we're getting in this chat. Thank you, ladies. Okay, so let's move across to gaining knowledge. And our final thought. What is your final tip for maximizing your business by living in your truth, Christine?
You know, I'm going to say your key tip to maximizing is recognizing that words have incredible power. And the reason why so many people get disconnected is they're using words of enlightenment. And I'm going to give you an example of what I mean to help this come to life. But remember that you've got to choose language where your audience is at. So think about what is the conversation they're having around the kitchen table or around the coffee shop with their girlfriends, because that's the language you need to use in your business. And that is about understanding and being seen in your truth. It's not the enlightenment place. And here's a perfect example. I work with a lot of knowledge-based entrepreneurs who are living in the land of woo. And so they're like, I help people find their purpose, or I help people live their best life, or to live in their truth. And all those things sound amazing. And it's not that we don't want them, but I didn't get out of bed today Googling for how to find my purpose, or a very small percentage did. What they probably went is to talk about, how do I not hate my life? And the words are extreme. They're not in the middle. They're in the extremes. So my tip is actually think about the words and use the words in the emotional hotspots to really connect. That's when someone will say, I see you, which is incredibly powerful, because it also lets your audience say, I feel seen, and I'm not shamed in that, but I feel seen maybe for the first time. And what you can be in terms of growing your business is the footprints in the sand that said, when you connect to those words, there is a path of enlightenment. Let me show you how to get there. I could be the guide for you along the way. But my big tip to maximize things is really go back and look at your language. Too often when we're networking or when I'm out with business owners, they're talking from a place that is so up there that I don't connect to it. Trust me when I tell you, people got out of bed today looking for what you do, but they can't find it because there's a mismatch in the language. And if we can just fine tune that, all the doors open around the pathway to grow your business successfully, and a lot easier along the way.
I like that, really powerful, because at the end of the day, your clients are at that point that you have transformed from. So you have to go back to where you were when you wanted to teach them those steps that you took to get to where you are today. Somebody told me that truth, and I never even realized that if you've already transformed and gone through all of those layers that have created the stress that put you in, you need to go back and see what were those steps, what were those layers that you had to remove, and how did you get there? What did you feel during the process? I like that. Made me meditate on that one and probably talk about it for hours. Okay, so over to you, Boma. Would you mind giving us your final thought? What is your final tip for maximizing your business by living in your truth?
Thank you, Natalie. I really like what you said, Christine, about learning the language, right? Checking your language that you say. I'm going to expand on that by saying you need to also know the language of your business and the language that your client is going to understand. And we're not talking specific as in language you speak, but language that creates connection. I think one of the major difficulties we have as entrepreneurs or business owners is the ability to connect. You cannot offer your services or offer yourself to your client without creating first that connection. And one of the major keys in creating that connection is actually the ability to listen. Okay? Because sometimes we're so quick to just talk about what we do, how we can help you, but you're not listening to what your client is saying. So, can you try to check your language, like Christine said? Try to create a connection with your client and then actually listen so you can know how you can be of service. Because I'm going to relate it to healthcare. Okay. If you go to a doctor and you, without telling the doctor why you're there, the doctor just writes your prescription and sends it to the pharmacy. How are you going to feel? You're going to feel like, I really need to find a new doctor ASAP. that happens, that's an example of you trying to offer solutions to your clients without actually listening to what their needs are. So I'll say learn the language, connect, and listen. Those are my final tips.
Wow, I like that. That really brings it all home, because at the end of the day, those are the crux of any business that you want to be successful. And thank you so much, Colleen. You're right. Connection is key. If there's no resonating between you and that person that you're speaking to, you are never going to convert them into a client. They're never going to hear what it is that you have to say any more than you're going to be able to help them. So listening, connecting, and taking the time and trouble to find out what it is that they want, not what it is you think they want. The biggest mistake we make in sales teams is to try and tell the client what it is that you think they want. And that just sends them in the opposite direction, because they need to be heard. I like that, Christine and Boma. Thank you so much for the tips that you've given us today. Those were absolutely awesome, dynamite, magic stuff. Okay, so moving over to you, Christine. Can you tell us, do you have any announcements that you'd like to share with us?
I do. One thing that's super exciting, and I think this is one of the hardest, most pervasive problems we have out there for business owners, and that is that general mystery. How on earth do I find clients? And I will tell you that there is so much opportunity, and clients desperately need solutions, but they're looking for experts. And it's a big mistake that many make where they fall into, I call it the Kevin Costner Field of Dreams business strategy. If I build it, they will come. But guess what? They didn't come. And you're wondering, where are all the clients? So I am excited to invite you to an event. This is the second Client Growth Masterclass that I'm going to be running. And this is about you working on your business, not working in your business. And this is going to help you build a roadmap to how do you build an audience. Gotta actually build your audience. One of the most fundamental lessons and skills you need to learn as an entrepreneur. We're going to take you through that. So you're not only going to be able to identify them, attract them, but people who want what you're going to have to offer and are willing to pay for it. So if that's a struggle for you, this is a free workshop. The link is down below. I would love to see you at the masterclass. Clear your calendar. This is the chance to really accelerate your business in the fourth quarter and lead into strong momentum in 2023. The time is now. The clients are out there. We just need to connect those two pieces. And I loved what Boma said. It is language and connection to be able to have conversations with people who want what you need and have to offer. So come along. The link is down below. I can't wait to see you there.
Oh, that sounds so exciting. You've sold me. Moving over to you, Boma, do you have any announcements you'd like to share?
Yes, absolutely. I would love to share an announcement myself. Thank you, Christine. I'm actually going to attend your masterclass because one thing I believe in, we never stop learning. You stop learning the day you die. So I want to be part of your masterclass so I can even improve on working on my business, not in my business. And I like that very much. So what I want to announce is, where are you going in terms of your financial journey? Have you sat down to design a GPS? If you were going to drive from Maryland, where I am, to Connecticut, you're going to need a GPS to take you there. Do you have a GPS that is going to take you to retirement? Do you have a GPS that is going to help you to plan for emergencies? Do you have a GPS for your kids' college? What about a GPS for the lifestyle that you want to live? How can you do that? You can do that by trying to get a free financial need analysis of where you are, seeing where you are and where exactly you want to go, so you can make projections and plan accordingly to where exactly you want to go. And that way you do not arrive in retirement by surprise, or you arrive in life events by surprise, right? To get a free financial need analysis where you can get what I call your financial independence number. What is that? What does it mean to you? What is your human economic value to yourself and your family? How do you figure all that out? That's what I'm offering in a free financial need analysis with you. So click on the link below and schedule a time that you can set up with me, and we can arrange for you to get your free financial need analysis. Thank you.
Wow, exciting stuff you guys have to offer. Just a note to the people on the couch, responsible parents, responsible business owners, responsible individuals, always upping your game. And the reason you up your game is because you want to play big. And if you play big, you can impact more people. So bounce over and learn some more stuff. Get your financial strategy into place. And let's see how you show up so you can start spreading the word, spreading the economical abundance, and getting us to move forward as a society globally, not just in one corner. I'm very excited. Okay, so my announcement is, are you tired? Are you overwhelmed? Are you spending too much time working in business? Do you spend a lot of time in the front line working with people, always supporting them? Do you end up feeling burnt out, exhausted, trapped? How about taking a breath of fresh air? Bounce over to my Hummingbird Awakening retreat the last Thursday every month, except this month. It'll be on a Wednesday so that we do not hop onto your Thanksgiving celebrations. So this month, Wednesday evening, but normally last Thursday of the month, 8 p.m. GMT +2, bounce over to Eventbrite, get your ticket for $33 and give yourself a chance to just have a breath of fresh air. And last but not least, let's move over to our announcement for MinkLife University. And our first announcement is Mingle, our online learning community. This is where you're going to learn to communicate amongst the people that we have in our community. Join our Mingle community and see all the awesome stuff we have available. There you're going to find videos, you're going to find knowledge in our library, you're going to be able to direct message the people that you've met here on this particular recording, on any of the other episodes you've been lucky to listen to, and any of the other people that you haven't even met yet. We have an awesome community. Come and meet us. Come and see what it's like to up your game in a community that wants you to play big. Then we have the Minkubator, our favorite co-working space in the world. Here you can come and meet people daily, get feedback on your business, get some training, get a little bit of input. When you need to do that heavy email and answer something to a client and you don't want to come across the wrong way, these are the people you want to come and join with. So join the Minkubator, a smart way to get better results. Daily co-working incubation session just for you. And tomorrow is day 2 of our London conference. Please don't miss out. If you haven't had a chance, you have never experienced a conference like this. We've got 24 panel discussions, 6 reflective workshops, 24 breakout sessions, a global networking community that shares their expertise and experience all in just 2 days. So please click on the link below and come and spend day 2 with us for the London conference and come and meet the most incredible experts you have ever come across. Looking forward to seeing you there. And then next week, join us again with Peggy MacArthur, who will be discussing how you build your brand. And it'll be next week, 9 a.m. PST. Looking forward to seeing you there. Thank you for joining us today. It was lovely having you here. Thank you very much, Christine and Boma, for your time and the effort and all of those awesome nuggets of wisdom we got to share with the audience.
Thank you so much. Thank you for having us.
It was lovely having you. Looking forward